what's up guys, welcome back to another video. This is a reaction to some more truck related videos, and I don't know how I can really react to many things of this because there's only so much you can react to. I do obviously find the reactions interesting, but I've done like two videos so far, 3 videos in the past 2 weeks, and I see there's an interest in the reactions. I'm learning and seeing sort of the day in the life, but there's not much of this on YouTube. So I found this from Inside the News. I don't know how good this video is or whatsoever, but the title is How Truck Driving Became One of the Worst Jobs in the US. And from what I've learned, it's a very hard job, but like that is your life. You spend your time driving, and you like, I don't know, you have to obviously sleep in your trucks, I guess the majority of the time. You're driving across the country, you're driving through other countries from Canada all the way, I guess, down to Mexico, and certain times, I guess. Is that a situation? Is there like US truck drivers, or I guess Canadian truck drivers, or Mexican truck drivers that will have to drive all the way through the US to Canada or to Mexico or through whatever it is? I guess there's situations where it's like that, and maybe even further, like through Central America, maybe. I'm not too sure, but that probably does happen. And when you think about that, that is a crazy distance. I don't know how big truck driving is in places like Asia. I guess it's huge as well, because it's just a form of delivery that is the cheapest, and also it's just one of the ways to get storage and stuff, because there's obviously not coastal areas in most of Asia. It's just all land. So I guess the distances they have to travel are crazy, but I don't know, I'm getting to different topics, but we're going to check this out because I have learned about how difficult this job is, and how much, it pretty much is a lifestyle. You have to live your life as if this is your life pretty much. So yeah, it's a tough one, and we're going to see here how it became like that, and maybe there's a way to change it. I don't know, but you know how it is. They like to take advantage of people to make as much money as possible. These big companies don't give a shit, but I probably shouldn't swear at the start of the video, but oh well. Anyway, we're going to jump into this. Links are in the description to my Patreon if you want to see some more of my reactions, and that's pretty much it. Let's jump into it.
Truck drivers from all over the US are exhausted, underpaid, and frustrated.
Long durations, long miles throughout the day to get stuff where it needs to be.
The trucks are the backbone of the country. If we stop, everybody knows this country stops.
Yeah, that's
Hundreds
true.
showed up for this convoy protesting COVID-19 restrictions in February.
I wanted to be in the first wave, make sure that we were making the big statement.
But much of what plagues the industry started long before the pandemic. So why are drivers in the US so frustrated, and how did we get here? Truck driving used to be one of the best blue-collar jobs around. It was a golden ticket to the middle class. A strong union fought for high wages and good working conditions.
And rightly so. If this is your job, that should be the case. You should be getting money to put you in the middle class. Like, it should be that sort of situation. I guess just over time, the wages haven't gone up, and the need for certain deliveries and certain time frames has also gone up. So it's like you're having to work harder, but you're not earning as much money. So yeah.
But it didn't last.
The troubles that truck drivers have today really began in 1980 with deregulation.
That's when a new law called the Motor Carrier Act got rid of the fixed rates truckers used to charge.
Trucking industry has probably changed so much over the last 10, 15, 20 years. It is something that doesn't get recognized as much as it should.
Chris Barnes has worked as an independent contractor since May 2021.
International, you want to sneak up in front?
He was frustrated with COVID restrictions at the US-Canada border that made his job much harder. So he drove nearly 1,000 miles from Tacoma, Washington to join the convoy in Adelanto, California. The plan was to drive cross-country and reach the capital. He's traveling with his daughter and his dog.
I think Taco's feeling it the most because, small quarters, and he's getting to the point where he's letting you know he doesn't like you getting in his area.
Like most drivers, he owns his big rig. It cost him $23,000. He also has to pay for gas and repairs.
Yeah, I've got an older truck, but I'm a gearhead, so it's something that I can keep moving down the road till I get to the truck I want.
Chris spends $8,000 on these expenses every month. He has to drive at least 2,500 miles to break even.
I'd like to get
to break even? Oh my days, where's the profit margins here?
Full fenders on my drive axles. Hey, that'll be one day, you know.
That's part of why critics of the industry have taken to calling trucks like these sweatshops on wheels. It's where drivers live for up to 20 days at a time. And they often work around the clock, hours that match up to 2 full-time jobs.
We're not out here to make it, get rich. It's out here to make a living and do what we can. That's pretty much what we're here for.
Chris even does his laundry on the go.
Basically got a week's worth of laundry to catch up on, sheets and pillowcases and all that. Try to get ready for the day.
The average salary for the industry is about $50,000 a year. With their long hours, that means many drivers are working for less than minimum wage. And for the last decade, truck drivers' jobs have gotten even harder.
I was built out over a long time, and now it's so convenient for somebody to order something, get it at their doorstep.
And
That's the thing, man. So my PC broke. A week and a half ago because my SSD card just decided it's fucked pretty much, and I needed to get it fixed soon because I wanted to do reactions, which is why for one day I was doing reactions on my Mac, which is one. If you watched one of the days, the audio is only coming out of one ear if you're using headphones, and I ordered an SSD on Amazon, and it came the next day, and I ordered it at like 10 o'clock at night, and then the next day it came at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And when you think about that, the fact that you can literally get things that quickly, and you don't really think about how, but it's people like this who are delivering it, doing these jobs, making our lives so much easier, yet their jobs are being made harder. It's like, obviously it's being made harder because of these situations, but they're not getting any more benefits from it. It's kind of scary how, like, obviously that's for UK truck drivers, and I'm sure their jobs are very hard, and here it just seems like it's even harder because it's even more land. But I've always been told to like appreciate delivery drivers and stuff, because it is a tough job, like just non-stop, and I don't know, it's just a lot of time spent doing this stuff for very low wage, and I've always been taught that, and I didn't really understand it when I was younger. But you look at this stuff and it's like, man, these are the people that run our countries, and they're just not really appreciated the way they should be.
so much free or fast shipping means a lot of traffic. The shipping crisis has created even bigger delays.
We don't have trucks, we don't have food, we don't have product. If we can't move it, we can't sell it. We can't sell it, we can't make money. So it's very important that we got trucks.
Lines stretched for 5 miles outside a port in California last October as drivers waited to get into terminals. No one's paying for that lost time.
2/3 of the day, that driver is out there waiting to work, doing unpaid work, living out of the truck. I mean, it's an incredibly inefficient system.
There's always stories about somebody that'll be sitting at a place for 5-6 hours just before they get even checked in.
That is hell. That is absolute hell, man. What the hell?
The trucking industry is dominated by a few big companies.
They will get drivers to sign a contract that says, we'll train you for free, but you have to work for us for a year. And once drivers are in that situation, of course, they can't leave the job for higher wages, and so they end up accepting subpar wages.
Vasali says most new drivers quit after about 6 months, although that often means they'll pay tons of fees.
It's effectively a system of debt peonage.
Even before the pandemic, more than 90% of truck drivers were leaving the industry each year, but new workers take their spots.
It's just cheaper to bring in a new driver than it is to try to hire and retain an experienced safe driver.
The truck drivers who joined the Freedom Convoy say they felt forgotten, even though they're keeping America running.
Most people don't realize how hard working it is, how big a job it is. I've done it from one end to the other.
At the start of the pandemic, US truck drivers were celebrated as frontline workers. But by the time they watched Canadian truckers occupy Ottawa, the same...
See, I remember something happening. I didn't really look into it, but there was something to do with the truck drivers in Canada. I didn't look into it, so I don't know fully, but it was all over the news. And I mean, I guess it was just for their rights and stuff, to like get better pay or better working conditions and all that stuff.
Same old frustrations were back.
A lot of recognition initially when COVID hit about how important trucks were, and now people are saying that trucks aren't necessarily that important and that we're the problem.
When a group from California
Really?
decided to organize an American convoy, they led the charge by railing against COVID-19 restrictions, even though most of those rules had already been lifted. The protest still resonated with folks across the country.
Thank you! Thank you! Yeah!
We're here to witness and support the truckers, the people who are in the convoy.
Love these people, really do. They're my inspiration.
They gave out food to the truckers at rest stops.
Hey, that's sick, man. That's actually cool. They're actually getting like the appreciation. It's like making them probably feel even better. Like we'll be making them feel even better. But like people are going out their own way to support them, making food and stuff for them. It's just, yeah, you can't ask for more appreciation than that, right? But at the end of the day, you want these better conditions and you want the better pay.
And backed these rallies to show their support.
It is time to remind the governments around the world that they work for.
The line of trucks stretched for miles at some points.
What?
Today we decided that we're going to go onto the Beltway.
But when the convoy got close to Washington, D.C., it didn't make the impact they wanted. The National Guard deployed 700 members to control traffic in the capital. The National Guard deployed 700 members
700 members?
to control traffic in the capital.
What?
And rally organizers told drivers to stay out to avoid arrests.
It is very important that we do not get off the exit that we're not supposed to be getting off of.
I'm good with not driving in. I'd like to stay here until we actually accomplish something concrete.
Truckers drove around DC in circles instead. But the movement fizzled out in about a week.
This is a small portion. I hope that we're, achieve everything that we need to.
Still, Chris says he doesn't regret joining the protest, even if it was ignored like many of the issues truck drivers face. He says the support was about much more than mask and vaccine mandates.
When people start seeing trucks on the road, it's something that they can connect with. And brothers and sisters that are actually running these trucks, they know that they're on the front line also.
Damn, well, that's a bit of an insight into the world, I guess, and how people are trying to fight back. My dad was a truck driver for 30 years with the same company. He never had an accident. I was always proud of what my dad did. Oh, man. I'm sorry to hear that. My dad was also a truck driver. He started driving right as I was born. I'm 22 now, and he passed. Oh, man. All the stories are so sad. My father was a truck driver in Yugoslavia during the best era of the country. Dude has stories to tell. Thank you, truckers, for keeping things rolling, literally. Was a trucker for 3 years. It's a rough life. I got out and went to a different industry and make half of what I used to get. Yeah, I'm 10 times happier for it. To all my former fellow truckers, you'll never get the respect and compensation you truly deserve. Man, it's tough out there. I mean, this year was a real insight into the daily life. And yeah, if there's more reactions like this you'd want me to see, or if you don't want these reactions, let me obviously know that in the comments. But it is horrible. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And until next time, like, subscribe. Peace.